So a while back, I was thinking about ReactiveX, Dart streams, and Go channels, as I often do. And then I wondered what it would take to have streaming data sources in Alteryx. Unlike regular input tools, streaming inputs would subscribe to a publisher, and the publisher would then push messages to the inputs, kind of like text messages to your phone. The streaming inputs have to stay open, and they can receive new messages at any time. And I thought it might be possible to do this using asynchronous functions from the Python SDK. So I decided to build a proof of concept, mainly because it sounded fun. I really have no need for this at all. So because input tools block the rest of the workflow until they're finished, we need to start with a single input tool, which I call a controller. And the controller's only purpose is to emit start and end events. And those start and end events will then kick off the streaming input data sources. All right, so what's the most basic way we can demonstrate streaming data in Alteryx? How about a tool that emits a record every X number of seconds? We'll call it an interval tool. You know what? Let's have two. Well, the first one will emit every 1 second. The other one will emit every 5 seconds. Now add some message tools so we can show how the emitted records interleave in the workflow. And there is a caveat I should mention. Unfortunately, we cannot use all of the existing Alteryx tools. Certain tools collect records until their incoming connection is closed. Any tool that pre-sorts data, summarize, join, sort, as well as batch macros will do this, and this hoarding will kill our streams. Each tool in the stream must handle each record as it arrives and cannot wait for the incoming stream to close. So we'll have to build some more custom tools. Now, fortunately for me, the ReactiveX project, link in the description, has a convenient list of common operations that you can do to a stream. So let's make some of those. That will be fun. So we can't use join, but we can zip, combine latest, and sample. We can't summarize, but we can scan and reduce. And we can't cross-tab, but we can buffer. And we can combine these new tools with well-behaved legacy tools such as transpose, formula, and filter to make things even better. Now, naturally, just having an interval input is kind of boring. So let's add some excitement. Twitter. Everyone loves Twitter. Let's subscribe to a keyword that is going to get some traffic so we can see the tweets flowing into our workflow. I have a feeling Trump might get me a few tweets. Yes, it does. Okay. Twitter is great as a novelty, or if you're into advertising or reputation analytics, but let's do something a little more corporate maybe. So let's go to Microsoft and Amazon. So Azure has event hubs and Amazon has Kinesis, and both of these are messaging platforms. You publish a message and it pushes it to consumers. I already have an Azure developer account, so we'll use that. Let's hook up our tweets to an Azure publishing tool, and then in a second workflow, we'll subscribe to that event hub with an Azure input tool. So now we can see the tweets flowing into Azure and then back into our second workflow. Great! And equally great will be my monthly bill for Microsoft. So this is all fun, but let's kick it up a notch. I want to use Alteryx to answer questions from a web browser. So let's install RabbitMQ, build out our Alteryx connectors with the Python SDK, build a simple web server, I like to use Go for this, that hosts a web page and provides an API, build a simple web GUI to communicate with the API, I like to use Flutter for this, and we have a web application whose number crunching is powered by Alteryx. Easy! Okay, this is cool, but come on, let's be honest. It's really just performing a simple math calculation. I mean, even JavaScript could handle such a trivial thing. I want to use Alteryx to answer data questions about avocados. So I found an awesome data set on Kaggle that has avocado prices and sales volumes, and I want to ask questions to it from a web browser. So we're going to need another tool that will input a data file every time it receives an event. So I'm going to build a basic CSV importer, add a scan tool that calculates a formula from a field, hook up to our RabbitMQ queues, a few adjustments to our web GUI, and now we can send a formula that operates on a table of data for each request. The avocado industry will never be the same. Okay, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I think you can agree that Python SDK is really, truly an awesome thing, and the possibilities really are limitless.